Now we can discuss about Newton's first law of motion. This law is also known as law of inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is the inability of an object to change its state of rest or state of motion. If it is in state of rest, the object is having a tendency to continue its state of rest. If the object is in a state of motion, the object is having a tendency to continue its state of motion. We are going to discuss Newton's first law of motion. The law is also known as law of inertia. We are going to consider a ball, and this ball is moving. We are applying a force on that ball, and because of that force it is moving. After some time the ball will stop. Now the ball is stopping. What is the reason for this? Why the ball is stopping? The reason for the stopping of ball is friction. There is a friction between the floor and the ball. Friction is always opposing the movement. Here, the friction is an external force. Think, if there is no friction, what is going to happen? The ball is not going to stop. The ball will continue its motion. The ball is stopping because of friction. Friction is an external force. Now we can discuss another example. We are considering the same ball. Now the ball is at rest, no movement. To make the ball to move, what we can do here? We can apply a force. We are going to apply a force on the ball. Because of that force, the ball is moving. The reason is we are applying an external force. That's the reason for the movement of ball. If there is no external force, what is going to happen? The ball will continue its state of rest. It is Newton's first law of motion. The ball is moving because of an external force. We are going to consider another example. There is a fan. When we are switching on the fan, that time the fan will rotate. And after that we are switching off the fan. After some time the fan will slowly stop. Why the fan is stopping after some time? Because there is a friction between air and fan. Friction between air and leaf of the fan. Because of the friction, the fan will stop. If there is no friction, the fan will continue its rotation. No need to have that electricity and all. It will continue its rotation for a long time. It never stops. These are the applications of first law of motion. If you are considering the movement of planets around the sun, movement of moon around the earth, these movements are not going to stop because in space there is no friction. That's the reason for this continuation of this movement. Now we can define Newton's law. If there is an external force, it will move. And because of the external force friction, it will stop. When we are pushing that ball, it will move because of the external force, and because of the friction, it will stop. The ball will stop. The friction is the external force here. If there is no external force, these are not going to happen. The ball is not going to move. If the ball is in motion, the ball is not going to stop. If there is no external unbalanced force, an object continues its state of rest or uniform motion. Unbalanced force means unequal force. If there is an unbalanced force, then only there will be movement. If there is a force, if it is balanced force, the object is not going to move, right? That's the difference between unbalanced and balanced force. So law states that if there is no external unbalanced force, an object continues its state of rest or uniform motion. When we are pushing an object, it is unbalanced force. When we are stopping an object, it is an unbalanced force. If we are applying forces from both sides, then it is balanced force. If it is equal, it is balanced force. We need to understand that only unbalanced force can make the object to move. Subscribe our channel for getting instant notification of sample paper solution, and support us for providing free online classes to everyone. www.winpointonlineclasses.com